Hey, hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau Jr., and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So, today I want to talk about something that I recently heard. And it was this statement it said that we operate on 10% of our abilities. 10%. Man, just pause a second and think about that. We operate on 10% of our abilities. So that means 90% of our abilities are just being wasted, not even being utilized. And to me, that just seemed unreal. But as I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, on any given day, what's the maximum percentage that I operate on? Now, this is especially true if you are in a job that you're not really matched up to be in. If you're in a job that's incongruent with your values, your beliefs, your skills, you're not going to perform to the best of your abilities. So let's just take a stab in the dark here and let's think about what's possible. I mean, let's think about doubling what our average productivity is. Let's say if we double it to 20% of our skills and abilities. I don't know about you, but even 20% really seems like I'm cheating myself out of a whole lot of stuff. I mean, that's 80% of my skills and abilities still in the vault that I'm not using. So that got me to thinking, what do I have to do to utilize more than 10% of my abilities on any given day? And, after thinking about it, I think there's three things that really stand out on how we can utilize more of our abilities every day. First of all, it starts with self-awareness. We have got to be self-aware of who we are, what we do, what we can do, what's possible, and we need to really figure out what we are really good at and what we love. Because we could be really good at something and working, doing that at our job. But if we don't like it, how much of our abilities are we really going to use? Is our heart going to be into it? Is our heart and soul going to really be into doing that job or doing that task? Well, I would say no. So that's the first thing. You got to figure out what you're good at, what you're skilled at, what do you love to do? And then identify things that you're doing in your current job that don't align with that. Second thing, I think that we need to get our mindset right. We have the mindset that if we are in a job that we are not utilizing all of our skills and abilities, that it's not fair or it's not right, or we just don't have to work up to our full potential. And I would be the first one to say that that is untrue. As y'all know, I'm a Christian, and in the Bible it says to work as if you're working for the Lord. Give it your all. And I don't know about you, but 10% of our abilities just does not seem like giving our all. Now, I realize there's probably some people that are way above this using 10% of their abilities. I realize that. And the people that I think are using more than that 10% of their abilities are the ones that are self-aware of what their capabilities and their abilities and their skills are. And they really try to tie those into the work and the tasks that they're doing, no matter who they're working for and what they're doing. They try to weave in their abilities to make that job and make that task better than it was before, better than it's expected. And I also think they have that right mindset that, you know what, this is a job. I may not like it, but I'm going to give it the best of my ability. I'm going to give it all that I have, just like I'm working for the Lord, just like this is my business. That is the third thing that I want to talk about. When we do a job for ourselves, say yard work or cleaning up our house, we got some friends coming over and we're going to pick up. We do it with everything we have because it's ours. We want our stuff to look good. We want our lawn to look good. We want our house to look good and presentable. Because when guests come in, we just want to look nice. We want it to be right. And there's just something about when you own it, you take better care of something. Look at the rental cars, for instance. Who in here that's listening has ever rented a car and maybe just beat on it a little bit more than normal? Romp on the gas a little bit or try something different. Now, I don't do that anymore because when I rent a car now, it's like I really try to take care of it just like it's my own. And I mean, sometimes I'll even wash it before I bring it back. Or if I have it for a week or two, I'll wash it and vacuum it out as I have it because I want it to, it's new. It's very presentable. And my personal vehicles aren't that great. So, I mean, I probably need to take better care of them. But I probably take better care of a rental car than I do my own car. But what I'm getting at here is when we own something, we have a tendency to take better care of that because we want it to last. We want it to look good. And so that's the third thing. Do your job like it's yours. Do your job like you're owning that business. If you work for somebody else, man, give it your heart and soul and mind. Figure out your abilities and weave those abilities into whatever job you have. Get your mindset right that, I may not like this, but I'm going to give it my all. And finally, work like you own it. Own the business, own the task at hand. Be accountable. Be proud of what you're doing, even if you don't like it, because it's a choice. A few episodes ago, I talked about, positivity and negativity. It's a choice. It's a choice on how you interpret certain situations. And you may run into a really bad situation, but it's your choice if that situation is going to impact the way your attitude is. You could take the high road of positivity, or you can go right down in the gutter and take the negative, this sucks attitude. Well, I'm choosing to be positive. I'm choosing positivity. And I know that's dangerous because a lot of times, when we really have a positive mind, sometimes I believe Satan attacks us even more and he's going to come after you. But you know what? The name of Jesus scares him away pretty quick too. So that's my belief. So anyway, if you are only given 10% of your abilities, just think of the possibilities if you can give 20% or 30% or 50%. Let's go wild and say we're going to give 50% today. Man, that's like 5x in your productivity on any given day. If it's true that we only use 10% of our abilities. If you're a team leader, just imagine if your teammates or your team members are only giving 10% of their abilities. What can you do to increase the amount of abilities or the percentage of abilities that they are using? Well, I think first of all, you can set them up for what they are good at and what they enjoy doing. If they're a very social person, don't put them in a cubicle by themselves. Put them in an area where they're around people, because that's an eye on the disc, and the eyes on the disc, they need to be around people. Their own personal hell is working in a cubicle where they never see anybody else. If you have a D working for you, give them something that they can be in charge of. If you got a C, give them a job where maybe they could work by themselves and they can do that research and, develop things and organize things. And if you got an S working for you, give them stuff that's involved in a team that's going to benefit the entire team. Because when you start matching your people on your team up to their behavioral styles and their personalities and their skills and abilities and what they really love to do, you're going to see a drastic, and I mean a drastic increase in your overall team productivity. So, hey, that's it for today. Come on back tomorrow for the weekend edition. I'm going to be talking about something special that I think special, and I'm going to talk about how, well, I'm just going to surprise you. Come on back tomorrow, and I think you'll enjoy it. Until then, run to your challenges. We'll see you.